One late evening, the engines were talking about their old lives on their old railways, and they were also talking about some of their family members. Ray had talked about his two brothers, named Donald and Douglas, and that the three of them used to work on a railway in Scotland. Bobby had talked about his brother named Salty, and that the two of them used to work together at a docks in Bridlington. Heartbeat had talked about his brothers and sisters, about how grand, strong, and proud they were. But he also mentioned one of his brothers named Henry, and that he was a mix between two engines, but that he was also a failed engine. But he and Heartbeat were great brothers. Maria had talked about her two brothers, named Wilson and Montague, and she also said that the three of them were hard workers and best friends. Sam was there also, and he was talking about his brother named Trevor, and that they used to work in a field in London, pulling logs and sometimes giving rides to children. And that's the story about me and my brother Trevor. That was very interesting, Sam. Thanks, Maria. I do hope I get to see Trevor again. I get that feeling sometimes too. I miss my brothers and sisters sometimes. Me too. Me three. I often see a few of my brothers and sisters when I pull the express, and it's always great to catch up with them. Well, you're a lucky engine, Heartbeat. That reminds me, Rem and Shera, you haven't told us about your old railway yet. Oh yeah, we haven't. Well, we used to work on a railway in North London, and there were many kind and friendly engines there. Yeah, except for one engine, and that was our sister. Really? What was she like? Can you tell us more about her? Sure, I can tell you a whole story about her if you like. Well, this will be interesting. Now, Shera, I know you never liked her, but there are some engines who would like to know the story of her. Fine, go ahead. And so this was the story that Rem told. Our story begins in 1952 on the north side of London. One of our sisters was named Lucy. She was white with green lining. She was one of the rudest engines that you'll ever meet. She was always rude and very boastful, and she always tried to get what she wanted. And she didn't care about anybody else but herself. One day, the controller announced that he was going to be building a new branch line, and that we were to help build it. And he also said that the engine who works the hardest will be given the branch line. Now remember, I don't want any nonsense or delays while this branch line is being built. And don't forget, whoever works the hardest will be given the branch line. So I want you all to work very hard and be really useful. Yes, sir. Very good. And also remember to work together while you're working on the branch line. I hope I get the branch line when it's done. No way. I'm bound to get that branch line when it's done. Pah. What a load of rubbish. The controller's obviously gonna give it to me because he knows that I work the hardest out of all of you. That's not true. We all work very hard. Why should the controller give you the branch line? Well, for starters, he isn't gonna give it to oversized grapes like you two, a giant banana, and a box on wheels. So it's obvious that he's gonna give me the branch line when it's done. Hey, you do not call us that, Lucy. Whatever. Anyways, I better get to work now if I'm gonna get that branch line. Don't worry, you two. If she keeps this behavior up, then she'll sure to have an accident, and the controller won't give her the branch line.
Yeah, maybe she won't get the branch line.
That's right. And maybe the controller would give one of you the branch line. Maybe, Molly. But let's hope that Lucy isn't rude to us while we're working. And maybe Lucy will just slack off and think about getting the branch line. I couldn't have been more wrong. Lucy was working harder than she ever was before. She was determined to get that branch line. And every time when she went past one of us, she would always be rude and boastful. And every late evening at the sheds, she would feel very pleased with herself. Guess what, everyone? I managed to pull a few passenger trains, as well as deliver a few goods trains to the branch line. Looks like I can do my regular work, as well as helping out on the branch line. What do y'all think of that? Oh, will you just shut up?
Oh, good grief.
You're telling me. Come on, Rem. Stop resting in the sun when there's work to be done. I've been working at the quarry nearly all day, as well as helping out on the branch line. I need some rest. Pa, you're just being lazy. Anyways, I gotta get going now. I have to deliver these trucks full of heavy stone to the branch line. Over on the new branch line, there was hustle and bustle, and workmen were working very hard. There we go. Right on time. I'm definitely gonna get the branch line for sure. As the weeks went by, we were all working very hard on the branch line to get it open as soon as possible. Before we knew it, 10 weeks had passed, and the branch line was now finished. The tracks were all laid, the station was built, and they even built a water tower. The workmen were finishing up the last few touches before I came to take them home, and Shera came to take the last bits of rubble away. Let's hope Lucy doesn't get the branch line, Shera. I hope so, Rem. If I had hands, I'll be crossing my fingers right now. The day soon came where the controller was gonna announce who will be running the branch line. First up, I just want to say I'm very proud of all of you. You have all done an amazing job on the branch line, and it looks wonderful. Who will be running it, sir? I have thought very hard about that, and I have decided that the engine who will be running the branch line will be Lucy. Once the controller said that, we were all shocked and couldn't believe it. Sir, there has to be some sort of mistake. Why is Lucy running the branch line? Lucy has been working extra hard for the past few weeks, and I think that she deserves the branch line most of all. But sir, there has to be some sort of mistake. Rem, don't argue with me. Be happy for your sister. Lucy is running the branch line, and that's finals. Understood? Yes, sir. That's good. After that, he gave us all of our jobs, and he walked away back to his office. Well, I think the controller made the right choice. Wouldn't you agree? I think it's ridiculous. You don't deserve the branch line. Not after you're being so rude and boastful to us. Calm down, Shera. There's no point in getting angry. Yeah, that's right. Well, congratulations on getting the branch line, Lucy. We never thought that you would get it.
Well, I hate to say this, but congratulations on getting the new branch line, Lucy. I guess.
Way to go, Lucy. Why, thank you, everyone. 2 days later, the controller needed an engine to pull the dairy train, and so he asked Lucy. The dairy train is an important train that stops at every station unloading milk, and it's usually pulled by Molly, but she had to go to the works to get her wheels replaced, and Lucy was the only engine available. Shera, what are you doing here? Don't you have other work to do? I do, but I was told to give you some advice before you pull the dairy train. And what would that be? Well, when you pull the dairy train, you have to go nice and steadily with the milk. If you don't, and go really fast with it, the cans of milk will be bounced around, and the milk will turn into butter. Well, thanks for the pointless advice, Shera. I know how to pull the dairy train. I'm not as stupid as you are. Hey, I'm not stupid. I'm just trying to help. Well, you're not. Soon the men had finished loading up Lucy's vans full of milk. Well, there's the guard's whistle. I gotta get going now. Lucy soon arrived at the branch line with her train. I was there also. I was filling up with water before continuing on with my pasture train. As the workmen were unloading some milk from our vans, the station master came walking out of his office to speak to Lucy. Lucy, a tree has fallen onto the tracks we are heading, so you'll have to take the tracks to Windy Mountain to deliver the rest of the milk. Okay, sir. I can do that. That's good to hear. You better be very careful, Lucy. The tracks on Windy Mountains have been meant to be replaced for a week now, so you must take extra care while traveling on the tracks there. Just great. First Shera gives me pointless advice, and now you do too. It's not pointless advice, Lucy. I'm just telling you to be careful. I'm always careful, Rem. Besides, I'm the older sister, so I basically know a lot more than you and Shera do. Okay, that is just ridiculous. No, it isn't. You and Shera are just too stupid to realize that. That's why the controller gave me the branch line instead of either of you two. This was the final straw I had with Lucy. You know what, Lucy? Fine. Do what you want. And if you fall off the mountain, don't say it was my fault I didn't warn you. Oh, please. I'll be fine. I bet she's gonna fall off the mountain. Now, like I said before, the tracks on Windy Mountain have been meant to be replaced for a week now, but that was pushed back due to working on the new branch line. But that day, the tracks had finally broke. Stop! Lucy applied her brakes as hard as she could, but the heavy weight of the trucks pushed her along, and then it happened. Lucy came off the tracks, and she fell down the mountain. Luckily, her driver and fireman had jumped clear before the crash, and the trucks were still on the rails. But Lucy was all the way at the bottom, and she was on her side. An hour had passed, and soon me and Shera arrived to help Lucy. Shera took the trucks away, and I brought the breakdown train. When Shera took the trucks away, she came back with a flatbed, and we loaded Lucy onto it. Once we did, she was terribly damaged, and she was very, very upset. She didn't say anything to us, and we didn't say anything to her. When she was strapped up to the flatbed, we took her to the works. The next day after our accident, work to fix the broken track on Windy Mountain was commenced, and the workmen made sure that the tracks were safe, and they were. After that, me and Shera told the controller about how rude and boastful Lucy was as we were all working on the new branch line, and how I tried to warn her about the tracks on Windy Mountain. And so he decided that Lucy will not be running the branch line, and instead, he was going to give one of us the branch line, but we asked him if Molly could have it. He said sure, if Molly said yes. She excitedly did, and so she ran the branch line for many, many years. The sheds were silent. What happened to Lucy afterwards? Did she get repaired? Oh yes, she got repaired, and once she was, the controller decided to put her on permanent quarry work. And when we saw her from time to time, she was never rude or boastful ever again. Seems like she finally learned her lesson the hard way. But where do you think she is now? Well, Maria, we have a theory, but it's not a very nice one.